Hello, beautifuls. I want to share a little bit what's been going on with me here in India, not because my story is special or unique, but because that is the way that we learn and we help support one another. Sometimes just hearing what somebody else is experiencing and going through helps us navigate our own experience and provides insight in ways that when we're trying to do it alone does not. So as I have been here and embracing new lifestyle, new culture, which I love, there have been some personal things that have been coming up. And I'm going to say the experiences that I've had so far have been multi-dimensional or multifaceted. One way, I've been shown how much I have grown, how much work I've actually done, and that I am nowhere near the same person I was a year ago, never mind, 3 months ago. But I've also been made very, very aware of some issues that I thought were resolved that were not, and others that I did not even know were there, that are incredibly painful. And during this experience, I've had the opportunity to be the observer. And so I have witnessed this intense, almost all-consuming emotion come to the surface, understanding that it is ego, so wounded and just wanting to lash out, while at the same time being connected with my higher self and going, and this doesn't really matter. And it seems like the two are so polar that there's no way to bridge them. And I will say it's been interesting, and I was watching the conversation that goes on inside, and there was one part of me that really just wanted to dismiss that human part of the experience, the emotion, the pain, the wounding, the stories that I made it mean, and just sit with the it doesn't matter. And although I could do that, that would not be helpful, because that in essence is spiritual bypassing. We are humans. We are here to have a human experience, and part of that is the emotion. And also this place to honor and recognize what the human aspect of me was going through, that this was pain, this was stuff that needed to be dealt with, and how to do that responsibly and respectfully. And because this situation was not just isolated to me, there was an easing into, okay, how do I honor what these feelings are, and at the same time acknowledge that they really mean nothing in the scheme of things. And part of my journey is that fully embracing our invulnerable vulnerability, and which has been difficult for me to do, especially in intimate relationships. And so I stepped into that place, and as I did, I simply announced that, listen, my higher self knows that what I'm experiencing right now is insignificant in the scheme of things, but my human is having this issue, and I just need to share it. And the beautiful thing is the moment that I voiced it, it dissolved. It literally dissolved, and it opened a way for the other to also say, hey, listen, I'm experiencing XYZ. in a different way, and what their intensity was. Now, this beautiful bridge, it's very, very important. And I bring this story up because I was speaking to my dear friend Gord the other day, and he was experiencing something very similar. Not necessarily in terms of how, or situationally, what I was experiencing, but exactly the same thing, where there was something in his experience that was activating the human emotions, the ego, while his higher self knew it was insignificant and irrelevant. And I was talking to two more friends who are in the same line of work, and they were experiencing similar experiences. And it was while I was sharing this conversation with Gord that I was shown a picture of a forge and an anvil. And I don't know if you're familiar with what those terms are, but the forge and the anvil are used when you are doing ironsmithing or blacksmithing. And so you heat the iron in a forge, and then once it's really hot, you bring it out, you put it on the anvil, and you hammer it, you pound it into the shape that you need it. Right now, as light workers, healers, helpers, shaman, whatever term it is that you, star seeds, whatever term you want to use, we are being prepared now to be, well, we're being forged, but being prepared so that we can more authentically and wholly sit in that higher aspect of ourselves and see what is happening in the 3D, in the human, and understand that that is not the real story. And the reason this is happening is because 2023 is a profound year for transition. There are things that are going to come to light. There is going to be a dissolution of the matrix in many ways. And for those people who have not yet done the work, seeing their reality dissolve is going to be jarring, mentally and emotionally. And we're going to need to hold the space. We're going to need to hold the light for them while they do the work, while they do the adjustments, as we shift into a new earth. I thank you so much for listening to this perspective. And until we speak again, please be well.